Hey guys, Rory here from Your Golf Travel. Welcome back to Machynys Peninsula Golf and Country Club in South Wales. Part 2 of this course vlog. Part 1 we discussed ideas behind attack versus defensive golf. And on this part, as I said at the end of part 1, if you haven't seen that video already by the way, link is in the description. We're going to talk about this golf course, Machynys Peninsula, why you might want to come and play it, and also some other golf courses in this area that you might be able to package up with this bad boy. I've had people tell me off for saying bad boy, so apologies for that. But other courses that you can package up with Machynys Peninsula to make up a Swansea golf tour. 7th hole, part 2, let's get going. Guys, par 3, 7th hole. I'm not entirely sure what my score is at this point. As you know, I played 2 balls in part 1 for a little test. If you haven't seen that video, link is in the description, but I would guess I'm roughly 2, 3, 4 over par, something like that. But missed the green here at 7, long left, and as you can see, got up and down for a par. So nice start to part 2 here at Machynys Peninsula. Right guys, par 4, 8th hole, 373 yards from the gold tees today. And this marshland, which is so common here at Machynys Peninsula, makes it very unique indeed. We'll talk a little bit more about the unique features of this golf course and why you might want to come and play it further up the hole. But that marshland, fairway runs out at 225. If I'm missing driver into the wind, it's usually to the right. So that's kind of scaring me a little bit. The driver's been going okay so far, so it should be hitting it, but I'm too scared. I'm going to try a Stinger 2 iron instead. Right, I think it's fair to say that the Stinger did not go to plan. Barely snuck the front edge of the fairway. Probably should have hit a driver, but hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? Miles left in, so I'm just going to try and put myself in a position to hit the green in 3. And we'll talk a little bit more about, like I said, the unique features of this golf course and why you guys should definitely come and check it out on your next South Wales golf holiday. Right, I'm safely back in position in the middle of the fairway, and while I wait for the green to clear, I'm just going to point out these are the kind of marshland water hazards that just completely define most of the challenge here at Machynys Peninsula. They're ever present, they're always in your face, always making you second guess yourself on a lot of tee shots and a lot of approach shots. And yeah, basically they form the large part of the challenge. Steer clear of those and you could be on the way to a good score. But they're not the only challenge that Jack has laid down for us here in Wales. Right, 82 yards for my third. Left myself in a nice little position. Big green, which is another common feature of a Nicklaus course. We will discuss that in more detail when I find another one. Just scoot on in here. Try and get this really close to get out of here with 5. About it short of the green. Oh, that's actually worked out right considering how badly I hit that. So with this video being about Swansea and South Wales golf tours, it's worth pointing out that Machynys Peninsula is roughly a 25-minute drive from Swansea City, and it's also within very easy reach of lots of other top-class golf courses, which we'll talk about later in the video. Don't be fooled by the follow through, the old one-handed baseball follow through. That was a perfect misstruck necky cut, which actually followed the shape of the hole absolutely sublimely. Perfect / completely luck. So another common feature of a lot of Jack Nicklaus courses, and you find this here at Machynys as well, is the width of the fairways. Massive landing areas off most tees, which is really quite nice of Jack to do that for us, because as I said, you get it wrong enough and you're in these marsh areas behind me and all around me really. So yeah, like most Nicklaus courses, massive landing areas, huge fairways which get narrower and narrower towards the green. And yeah, it allows people like me to get away with drives like the one I just hit. Looks like a good drive. I almost missed the ball in truth. 130-ish left in, got a wedge, playing out towards the left edge of the clubhouse, probably the play because the wind is hard off the left. See if I can throw it on there, make a par and get out of here. described, if it's the yardage, it's a good shot. Yep. Could have done with a little bit more yardage, just spun back to the front edge of the green, but I'll take it. We're on the dance floor. Right, just before I take my birdie putt from all of 60 feet here on the 9th, I'm going to show you another little common feature of this golf course, and again it's a similar trait that you'll find on a lot of Nicklaus designs. It's the sheer size of these putting surfaces. As I spin around, you'll get an idea. If this pin was back right where I've hit that approach shot to, that's over 100 feet, I would guess. They're all massive, so lots of different pin positions can be put out, which changes the challenge of each hole quite dramatically, I would say. And another common feature is these dramatic runoff areas. I'll do a bit of Ken on the course for you, but if you're pitching that ball just left of the green, you'll run down into a classic Nicklaus runoff and be left with a fairly challenging shot back up over the hump, with the green then running away from you. And this is a common thing that you'll find here at Machynys, is that if you miss in the wrong spots and you do end up in one of those collection areas, depending on where that pin is, the pitch shots and chip shots around the green can be very challenging indeed, or you can get the old Texas wedge out and try and deal with the slopes that way. So as you can tell so far here at Machynys Peninsula, the wind will definitely play a big factor. Even though it's not a true links golf course, its location pretty close to the South Wales coast means that it's definitely going to play its part. Here I left myself at least 60 feet for a birdie, and I got it at least 2 clubs wrong. As you can tell, I hit a pretty decent shot strike wise, but I got it wrong, and now I'm putting from about 10 feet for a par. Yeah, thanks wind. Come on. Away from the delights of Swansea City itself, where you'll find countless fantastic restaurants, bars, museums and much more, the south coast of Wales is home to some of the most spectacular beaches. In fact, National Geographic actually rates the Pembrokeshire coastline as the second best in the world, and this is just a little over an hour's drive from Swansea City itself. Head inland, and again, just over an hour's drive will take you to stunning Brecon Beacons, where anyone who'd like to enjoy a walk in some of the most spectacular countryside on offer in the UK without the stress of keeping an eye on the odd stray golf ball will be right at home. A little further afield, history lovers can also marvel at the Llanthony Priory ruins. In short, when you're not playing golf, there are plenty of reasons as to why South Wales is a must-visit region. Right guys, back to the golf course, and despite having driven it pretty well in Wales and obviously getting away with the odd misstrike here at Machynys Peninsula, this tee shot with water hazard running all the way up the left of the 10th went so far left. Massive snap hook, at least 60-70 yards into that hazard. So just as well I carry that spare ball in my pocket. I know that's technically against the rules, but let's get back to the action. Right, I think it's fair to say that this hole is not going to plan. 3 off the tee, bit of a pull, then a bomb, then a nicely struck wedge. I was concentrating so hard on the strike. You guys all know I really struggle with that I've completely forgot the yardage I was playing, and I just hit it way too hard and into the back bunker. Oh, standard. Well, that hole had everything to sum up my game, didn't it? Driver off the planet into a hazard, followed by a bomb, followed by a complete brain melt where I was not thinking about anything, followed by a nifty little up and down, nearly hold the bunker shot. Double bogey though. Right guys, par 3 11th, gorgeous little hole again. Look, the consistent presence of the marshland in full effect all the way at the left of this pretty little par 3. Runoffs again from Mr. Nicklaus, and of course the ever-present wind. So just before we finish up in part 2 on the next hole, we're going to talk a little bit about the location of Machynys Peninsula. About 9 miles or 25 minutes or 35 minutes or so from Swansea city centre. So anyone looking to combine maybe a couple of days in the city with some golf like this at Machynys Peninsula and some various other courses, totally doable. Obviously we're really near the coast as well. Anyone who's into golf and maybe some water sports like surfing, or just wants to spend some time down by the beach, all of that is possible if you throw in Machynys Peninsula into a South Wales golf tour. And I was mentioning some of the other courses that you guys can play if you pair it up with this bad boy, because as well as Machynys Peninsula, which is certainly worth the trip alone, there are lots of other amazing golf courses within easy driving distance of this Jack Nicklaus design. Right, I've just zapped the pin at 150, but again that wind is just straight into. I've actually got a 5-iron, again just way too much club. This is more like 190-ish for me, so I'm just trying to flight it down, keep out of that wind, because there are no prizes coming up short on this hole. Bit up the right. That would be another bunker. Right, actually ended up coming just shy of the bunker. I'm not sure, I actually would almost rather be in the bunker, to be honest with you. But let's see how we get on with this chip shot down towards the water. No thinning please, Rory, no thinning. Take that, about 5 feet left, but I will take it. Right guys, final hole of part 2, 12th hole par 4, 420 odd yards from these gold tees. Look at that, that is spectacular. Again, marshland coming into play. Further up the hole, there's a bit more on the left and on the right of the fairway. Fingers crossed I can get a good tee shot away here. As I said earlier in the video, the landing areas are particularly generous, so I'm going to have to hit a pretty bad one not to be in play off the tee, but we all know I'm capable of that. Left in after a decent drive up the left. Wind again feels like it's hurting a little bit, but I think it could just be off the right. So I'm going to hit 5 again. This would be usually a 6-iron. Aim up right, try and let it ride the wind, flight it down if I can. Right, come on. Just skanked it up the right. Such a skank, short right. What an awful shot. So where should you stay when you're in South Wales? Well, anyone who's looking for the creature comforts of a luxury resort can opt for the likes of Celtic Manor or the Vale, while local B&Bs recommended by Your Golf Travel are dotted up and down the South Wales coast, offering easy access to the region's best golf courses. The Mumbles, for example, is just 20 minutes from Swansea, and is a great place for anyone looking to combine some of the UK's best links golf with charming seaside accommodation within easy walking distance of countless restaurants and country pubs. Right guys, so that's the end of part 2 here at Machynys Peninsula. And as I keep promising throughout the video, let's talk about some of the other golf courses you might be able to pair up with this amazing Nicklaus design. I came from Royal Porthcawl this morning and it was about a 45-minute drive, so that's totally doable. That's ranked as Wales's best golf course, so definitely one you should be looking out for. Not far down the road from there, you've got Pyle and Kenfig, one of the best back nines I've ever played, absolutely spectacular in these monstrous dunes. You've got Pennard, not too far from here, which is a gorgeous golf course. I referred to it in another video as quite quirky. Some people might get frustrated by the lack of flat lies, but I absolutely loved it. The views from there, from that golf course, are unbelievable, and I think it's a really quirky, fun, unusual golf course. Bit like playing golf on a grass-covered moon, as I keep saying. You've also got the likes of Tenby if you want to throw a bit more links in there, and then if you want something a little bit different, so loads of variety. So you've got your stadium, kind of a little bit American Jack Nicklaus course here with definite links accents like the wind, the runoff areas, the slopes, etc. Then you've got real quality links like the likes of Porthcawl, which I've already mentioned, various others. And then if you want to throw a bit of classic parkland in there as well, not too far away from Machynys, you can easily drive to places like Celtic Manor, home to 3 great golf courses, the Vale, home to 2. So yeah, there are so many options that you can pair up for a Swansea golf tour, to include Machynys Peninsula as well. And I would thoroughly recommend you check this course out if you're thinking about heading to South Wales. And speaking of South Wales, if you think about access for a lot of golfers in the UK, it's such an ideally located place, because whether you're up north in England or in the Midlands, down south near London, without the extremes like people who might be in Land's End or John O'Groats, for example, it's so accessible to most golfers in the UK. 2 or 3, maybe 4-hour drive, that sort of thing. So yeah, 100% check out South Wales, the Swansea area in particular, if you're looking for a golf tour with a great variety of golf courses, great quality as well. Machynys has been a treat so far. Let's head into the final 6 holes, show you what it's all about. I hear 2 of the most spectacular holes come towards the end of the round here. So thank you for watching part 2. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you want to tune into part 3 to see the rest of this amazing golf course. And of course, later on into the week, some more of the amazing golf courses here in Wales. Thank you for watching. Post some comments down below if you have any questions about Machynys Peninsula and whether or not you want to play it or not. If you have played it, let me know what you think of the course, and I'll see you in part 3 on the last 6 holes.